by Employer Amendment Bill, which has obviously been brought to the House by Camilla Ballot, but to acknowledge first being put in the ballot by Ibrahim Omir, and obviously the process that has gone through and your participation in that, so thank you very much, Camilla. Just to speak to the process that we've gone through with the Select Committee, hearing from people, robustly discussing and debating the merits either way, does really do justice to the process. Of course, just to speak to the bill and what it does, it's proposing to criminalise the failure of employers to pay wages. And look, while the intention behind this bill might be well-meaning, and not to discredit that, we've got to carefully examine whether it aligns with the principles of what are some strong National Party values, which is limited government, competitive enterprise and personal responsibility, values that are central to a prosperous society. So, of course, this bill seeks to criminalise wage...
Just like to point it out there, personal responsibility is being held accountable for your action.
I know, it's like, I'm sorry, but...
It's like, put it this way, limited government. I mean...
Yeah.
I'll wait till we get to Punjit Palmer. She actually hit something on the head that really rubs me up the wrong way.
Yep. Disputes by introducing harsh penalties, which is exactly what they are, for employers who allegedly withhold wages, and allegedly is an important point to make. While protecting workers' rights are essential, we must not be so quick to bring the heavy hand of criminal law into areas that could be governed by civil agreements and mutual trust. And that was something that was brought up a number of times when we heard from submitters, and obviously talking to officials, is that this is already something that can be covered by civil, civil agreements, and then of course the establishment of
the majority of submitters supported this bill.
Contract and the relationship between the employer and the employee. One of the cornerstones of a free society is limited government. This means that the role of the state is to provide a framework for law and order, but it should not interfere in every aspect of our lives.
Stealing wages from, stealing money from an employee's pocket should not be deemed to be limited government.
No.
I don't normally interrupt in speeches, but this is really, what she's saying is rubbing me up the wrong way.
Oh, it got me fired up reading it. It's like, I'm sorry, but how does limited government, competitive enterprise and personal responsibility, how do these values align with wage theft? It's also, and I just want to point something out, it's also really hypocritical of National to say this, considering the banning of patches and insignia in homes that National just passed recently. They want to talk about limited government? What is limited about a government coming into your home? This is not compatible.
It's like limited government in the home, but not in the workplace.
Yeah. Not at home, but in the workplace. Hey, it's okay.
Areas where civil remedies and free enterprise can provide solutions, and in this case, they already do. The current framework of employment law under acts such as the Employment Relations Act and the Wages Protection Act already offers clear avenues for resolving wage disputes. Civil courts and specialised employment tribunals are better suited to handling cases aimed to be addressed by the proposed bill. Turning wage disputes into criminal cases adds an unnecessary layer of government involvement, one that this side and this government would not support, is often a private and contractual issue.
Oh my God.
We have long upheld the principle of criminal law should be reserved for the most severe forms of wrongdoing. The criminal justice system is designed to punish
such as deliberately withholding people's wages.
Yep.
Intentional, malicious acts that cause significant harm to society. Is an error in payroll, perhaps caused by administrative oversight or a system failure, really something?
Wait a minute.
This is about intentional wage theft.
Yeah, intentional wage theft, not system error. Oh, but wait a minute. System errors happen all the time at the Ministry of Social Development.
Yeah.
And guess what? They're called sanctions. And often it's sanctioned now. Hope like hell the beneficiary don't complain. And then all hell breaks loose when they do complain.
We want to criminalise. Now, to address what the member opposite has said in her speech prior, while the intention is malicious, that does not always have the outcome. The outcome is often perverse. Criminal law is a blunt instrument, and its overuse in areas better handled by civil law will lead to unintended consequences, not justice. And I will...
We have not had this on the books.
Speak to this now. Mr. Speaker, our economy thrives when businesses are free to operate without excessive government regulation. Competitive enterprise is driven by innovation, efficiency and trust. Trust between employers and employees, between businesses and their customers. This bill threatens to undermine that trust by introducing the spectre of criminal liability into what are often honest disputes over...
Honest disputes by stealing money from people's pay packets in the worst example?
Nothing says honesty more than stealing from your employee.
Yeah.
Not employer. We're not going full anarchist here, guys.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I mean, Darling Tana, here's a free pass. Darling Tana, here's a free pass.
Yeah.
But, maybe that what needs to be actually put in sent in those emails going around. But maybe we've got to skip darling.
For pay. In a competitive economy, businesses...
I've actually had enough of listening to her.
Yeah, I've had enough.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah. Let's go to
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Let's go to Te Anau Tuiona.